Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another session of OmniTestingConf. Our speaker today is Darko Gicevski, Senior QA Engineer at IWConnect, a dedicated Xray partner. Today, Darko will guide you through different ways to enhance your onboarding process using Xray. You'll also hear how a custom approach from IWConnect helped one of the biggest companies in the healthcare industry increase their testing efficiency and cut costs. Of course, during the talk, you can ask questions in the chat or in the Q&A tab. And after the presentation, we'll again have a 15-minute Q&A where Darko will be able to answer all of your questions. And now I'll pass it over to our speaker.
Hello everyone. I hope you can see my screen. Thank you all for joining us today on the third edition of the OmniTesting Conference. I hope you are excited as I am. I'm honored that in the next 13 minutes I will be your host, and thanks to all of you for spending your precious time listening to all topics that we prepared for you. I hope this presentation will bring you extra value. It will open new horizons and views, and you can see a potential or solution to use it for your own purposes at your companies. Before I start sharing our success story for one of our clients with all of you, give me a couple of minutes to start and introduce myself. My name is Darko Gicevski, and I'm Senior QA Engineer and passionate IT professional at IWConnect, with more than 10 years of experience, and especially in the area of software testing. My specialties include manual and automation testing, using the most famous tools in the market these days. Also, what I want to share with you is that I'm certificated Xray expert. If you want to contact me, the easiest way to do that is to visit our official website at www.iwconnect.com and leave there your contact information so I can be able to get to you. Or you can visit my official LinkedIn profile. Also, you can write me an email message or call me on my mobile phone. All of you are warmly welcomed to contact me. I want to hear your feedback, answers if you have, and any additional questions, or have an open discussion with you about the challenges and solutions that you create for your clients based on your experience. In the end of this session, today you will have a slot for Q&A, so please take notes or write your comments. I will be happy to answer all of them and have a discussion. So let's go. Are you ready to listen to our success story for how to enhance your onboarding process using Xray? Today's presentation is not a technical one where we will cover and resolve an issue. Today I want to share with all of you a process that we implemented for one of the leading companies in the healthcare industry. Dexcom is a company that develops, manufactures, and distributes continuous glucose monitoring systems for diabetes management. Existing on the market for more than 20 years and with over 5,000 employees, the client is focused on providing value and care to its clients worldwide. In a digital transformation era, and with a desire to to speed up the internal systems by moving to the cloud, the client decided to improve the testing process of their e-commerce website and thus increase the quality of the services that they provide to their clients. The client wanted to implement a new test management tool that will integrate with the ticketing system Jira and will provide one application for all requirements and testing processes. So they wanted in one place to have all their requirements and all their testing artifacts and see the quality of the product. In addition to this, they needed a tool that will improve their automation testing, will integrate with other tools such as CI/CD tools and have a fully automated testing process. And in the end, they will receive visibility and reports to track all their testing efforts from the various testing teams. Based on their requirements and business needs, we started with an evaluation of several tools. We defined all the required criteria, created the POCs for each tool and presented them in the front of the client and their team. The comparison of the tools with all pros and cons for each tool was presented. Detailed discussion was spent on integration with other automation tools, taking into consideration all brainstorming ideas on how and what they will receive more from the selected tool. In the end, we make a conclusion. Together, we made the decision that Xray is a perfect match and covers almost every required requirement. They also needed someone that will guide them and install, configure, integrate, and educate the client's employees about the best practices with the new tool. Finally, they needed information on how to improve their existing testing processes, which includes 10 different sectors and teams, and makes it work as a one. Let me tell you in more details how we managed to solve this challenge in short period of time and provide efficiency and extra value for our client. In the end of this presentation, you will see the metrics that confirms the success of this process and the satisfaction from our client. The first phase of this journey started with 4 discovery sessions, defining the requirements and making a plan and strategy how to cover all various teams and their needs. Also, we started planning the education, organize the sessions, talking about the expectations and how we'll measure the outcome and see the results. We also started a discussion for migrating their existing test artifacts, and we spent time see all the available options for this process to be done as well. It was very restrictions about their tool that they previously used for creating their testing artifacts, such as test cases, test executions, bugs, and so on. It was very challenging, trust me, and a team effort for both sides. I'm very grateful that we were very professional during this journey. We managed to solve many obstacles. We was very transparent, organized well, and together we worked as a one team to be able to succeed the greatest goal that we put on paper. The third phase was the training itself that covered installation, configuration, and based on the teams we create a dedicated training. Our client is a giant company as I mentioned during my presentation, they have many different teams depending on the sector they work. Here we are talking about agile teams with different profiles such as developers, QA engineers, DevOps, Scrum Masters, project owners, project managers, and different leads. They all needed a specific training based on their expertise and domain where they was working. The training was separated in 4 different areas, such as administration guide, user manual, advanced guide, and best practices. In interest of time, I will not explain all of them in more details, but if you have any specific question to ask, you can do that in the end of this presentation, or we can discuss that in private if you contact me. During the training, we managed to cover how they can migrate their existing test cases from their old testing system. We didn't have enough time to migrate all of them because they have more than 10,000 test artifacts. They have really custom design creation there, and it was time consuming, and the client didn't approve this process to be fully done. But we create a process and steps that need to be done, and also we create a template so they can be able to use import their test cases in the new Xray system. And this was a good and starting point in future when they decide to migrate them all in the Xray. During this period of time, we managed to migrate 300 test cases from one project, and they were very, very satisfied about how the process will work. So the rest of them we left them for the appropriate time when they decide to do it. Also, in parallel, we prepared detailed documentation for each of the training sessions, and we recorded a short video tutorials step by step for every actions that we covered during the training, so all attenders can be able to return and understand the process and all features and functionalities that was covered. This was very useful for them. This process and this decision we confirm with our client after a while when they start using the application. To be more visible for you and to understand the complexity of this journey, let me share with you some numbers. We covered more than 50 projects. We understood their daily needs and processes, and we create a new ones with the new tool and educate them how to use it, including the best practices. We covered 10 different teams and sectors. More than 200 employees attend the training sessions. All different various teams attend to these training sessions. We spent around 100 hours education, communication, and challenging moments. During the training, we had more than 150 questions and answers for specific scenarios and topics that each individual has. We was very transparent, open-minded, and professional to respect everyone's opinion and give them a space to ask questions or doubts if they have. We have a really open discussion about the solutions that we implemented, how they can be used, which best practices are most suitable and will help them in future for their future regression and smoke testing efforts. On daily basis, they have really big testing efforts from the various teams. Around or maybe more than 30 PowerPoint presentations, documents, and video tutorials was created and shared with the client for their employees if someone need to return and learn the process if they missed something. During this journey, both of the sides have many lessons learned. This was very beautiful experience, very challenging because was needed to complete in a very short period of time. Here we are talking about 100 hours to educate more than 200 employees. And in the end of this trip, we only have gratitude and respect for each other. Here is something that was crucial for this to be done. Communication was the key for our success. We are very grateful for the open-mindedness of our client. They were very transparent, they were willing to learn and hear what we want to say, have an open discussion, and in the end make a conclusion that works for them. And we were able to plan that and create a specific plan for each of the teams that needs to be covered during this training session. So if you remember, as I mentioned, they have more than 10 different teams with multicultural agile teams included there. So here we are talking about different roles, different plans of work, different attitudes and different opinions. It was very challenging, but in the end of the day, they were all grateful, and we are as well, that we managed to complete this process successfully. The support that was needed in this process from our team and the other vendors that the client have, because they have a lot of tools and we needed a support to grant it our permissions to their Jira instance, work there together, make all the available permissions, workflows, and many other things that was required for this process. We spent several hours only on configuration and installation. That was very crucial for us to be able to continue forward and make this a reality. Innovations and ideas that all of individuals have during this process was very helpful. We learn a lot as they are. We were able to see a different perspectives and views about the testing based on their needs for the specific business they worked and for the different clients they work. This process was very helpful for us and for them to learn and see in a different way and a different perspective. Teamwork was very necessary and it was on a high level. This was also a very big step for us and for them for this process to be done. Questions and answers on a daily basis for all of the teams and the feedback that we receive, we were able to create the best match for them and for their daily processes and for their testing teams. Before I finish with my presentation, let me give you an overall image about their business outcome and the results that we managed to achieve and the feedback that we received. After a while, when they started to using Xray in the way that we educate them, their efficiency in the testing process was increased for 73%. The new tool proved to them that this is the right choice for them. Their quality for the end user was the most important, and here we managed to accomplish a win-win situation. This was very motivating for us and motivating for them. The big value of the percent that we achieve here is something that our client was very proud of. The cost that previously company paid for all different tools that was needed for the team and their QA department now paid off because the cost was reduced for 30%, and they received even more from a quality perspective and testing processes. They even received features to start new testing methodologies that previously was blocked because they have the wrong combination of tools. As I mentioned, the integration with other automation tools was very required for them. They have various teams. They were using very different teams for UA, performance, load testing, unit testing, and many others different types of testing. Even on the start, when the team was reserved about this journey and the decision that was made to start learning and using a new tool, after a while, when they start experiencing and using the tool on a daily basis, their satisfaction was increased by 90%. We were very inspired about this percent, and we asked them to give us a feedback, how they measure and how they measure this number. So we received a lot of number of surveys and polls, and they answer many different questions. So in the end, this level and this value of satisfaction by their employees was real. And last but not least, their time spent on planning and organizing regression testing was reduced for 50%, thanks to the powerful features and functionalities and reports that Xray offers. Their QA team leads were very satisfied about the combination of reports that Jira and Xray offers. So on daily basis, they spend very less time creating the reports for their managing team, seeing the results up to date, and prioritize the new testing efforts for their upcoming sprints. So these are only several of the metrics that I wanted to share with you today. So let me tell you several more about the satisfaction of this process. So don't forget the part that I mentioned during my presentation, that they have different with the other tool that they were using for testing process. They were not able, or they have restriction with integration with other tools. So when it came part to these metrics, the answers that we received from them and the feedback that their automation team give to us, they mentioned that 20% from the time they spent less on creating fully automated testing process. Xray now offers them a possibility to integrate with their other automation tools, and in the same time they have up to date all the latest informations from their executions. Also, they mentioned several other topics that was crucial for them, and they are very grateful about the decision that we made and implement and integrate Xray as a new test management solution for them. In the end, I want to thank you all for listening me today. I hope you have a wonderful time, like I did. I hope you learned something new, or have better visualization, or even better, if you have a similar situation at your company, now you can be able to propose a process to improve your quality even more with the right tools and the right people. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write them. I will be happy to answer them. So, before we jump to a Q&A session, I want to give you a recap about what we covered today. So today we spent time telling a success story that we were able to implement for one of the giant companies in the healthcare industry. That was a very powerful moment for us, and something that we are very grateful, and it's something that make us proud. So don't be shy and tell your successful story. This was ours. So it's time to jump and take the Q&A session. I'm really excited. I want to hear your feedback, and I want to have a little chat with you. Thank you all again.
Hello, Darko. Thank
Hello,
you for the
Jose.
awesome presentation. How are you doing today?
Hello, Jose. I'm very fine. I'm excited. I'm uh, I'm very grateful to be here and attend to this conference. So I want to hear if someone from the audience have questions that is related to the topic, or maybe even better if they have other situations, issues, or problems that need to be understand and resolved. I'm really glad to help them.
Sure. Questions, we already have three, but like Darko said, if you want to share your story as well, your story around Xray, the implementation, and any additional feedback, let us know. This is what this platform is all about as well. So jumping into the first question we had here, someone says that they're in a similar situation where they're using an old management or test management system, in this case, Zephyr, and they want to migrate to Xray. In your opinion, how feasible is that to?
Yeah. Let me first explain several crucial things during the migration.
Mhm.
What is really important for all to understand how the migration is done. Yes, Xray is supporting migration from other tools. Here, when we're talking about the on-premise or cloud platforms, they are both available as well. Yes, Xray supports two options to import the test cases. The first option is the CSV file, or the second option is using the XML file. Yes, it's a custom configuration that needs to be done, and by the important that is provided by the Jira native itself and the Xray. Yes, we are able to import the test cases, but also we are able to import the test execution as well. and all the relevant informations that are covered in one story, let's say. So if someone wants to know more about what actually what are the all fields that are supported to be migrated in this process? Yes, there is some restrictions with the custom fields if they have created one, and they can be migrated as well, but depends on the situation and their configuration at the moment. It's a tricky part that it's not to explain it well at the moment. Depends how is their structure, and definitely it's possible to migrate them at Xray.
Thank you for those insights. Was already you're looking for the next question, and one of them, I think this one also touches on one of the points from your presentation where you talked about the increased satisfaction from the employees and testers that are already there. But do you think that training can help non-technical people to get around the platform as well? Do you see any benefits of having non-technical people using Xray and Jira in this case?
Yeah, definitely. These days on the market, we have a lot of technical and non-technical people who are working in the IT industry, especially in many different sectors that that the IT industry covers. The training it's very important for both categories, I will say, and definitely needed for them to have a fast knowledge or guidance to start using the tools on the appropriate way. This is very important to be understand from all sides, because the training, we can spend time alone on daily basis and learn from some tutorial, but definitely it's time consuming to be real in this situation. And the training it's something that is focused more on the all the features, functionalities, and requirements that the team needs. So definitely it's very important to have a training from an appropriate company or vendor who can serve that kind of services, and definitely can help all technical and non-technical people. Especially this is very important for the non-technical people. They can see from a different view. They can use the tool and see the full potential of their daily jobs, and they can easily help them in their normal activities. So yes, I would say this is a really good opportunity, and for technical and non-technical people, they can see benefit from it.
And what would be some of the benefits that you say that having non-technical people using the same tool or Xray and Jira can bring to the table?
Okay, if we are talking about, let's say what actually they will receive. They will receive, let's say, firstly, knowledge. So they can during the normal agile meetings that these days are really needed and acceptable from the IT world, I will say. So non-technical people, they can understand firstly what the rest of the team they are talking about. So they will learn about the terminology, the technologies, the specific part that are covered in the training. And also they can receive, let's say, a speed to be able to complete their daily jobs. They can be able to see the reports. They can be able to have full metrics about, especially from the quality perspective, because here we are talking about the quality of the product. They can see metrics and relevant metrics, and they can know to read them or understand them. because most of the people that are not technical, they don't understand the test coverage, what does it mean, or the planning, how it's done. It's mostly planned by some technical leads who have more experience and knowledge about the testing process and the quality they want to achieve. So that is, I think, most relevant that they will that the non-technical people receive from the trainings.
Yeah, it's definitely important to be able to have more knowledge to bring those discussions forward when they're in place. And talking about quality, there's a comment, not specifically on this stage, but maybe we can make a connection here about quality. And maybe we can compare these to the use case that you presented today during the talk. So Sylvia was curious on how others measure their product quality, because a lot of teams focus on test coverage to see how they are testing. However, that doesn't always equate to how well the product is performing. Is there any other metric that you would recommend to measure product quality, or from your experience, any other way that people are trying to measure it?
Okay, so let's here talk about more specific or technical reports. Xray. Xray with the Jira itself offers many different reports that are crucial for the whole team and to understand the point of quality at the moment. So we're able to see many different reports that are important for all, let's say, members of the team to understand the quality at the moment. So it's a big decision to make when we decide go or no go to production. This is a really important decision that all QA engineers are doing during that period of time and making a decision. Yes, we go to production, or no, we don't go. So the owners of the applications or the software that we covered are not really happy to have not go to production decisions. And this is really important because here we are talking about the quality. At the moment on the market, we have a lots of tools, we have a lots of softwares. Some of them are with better quality, and most of them, I will say, they are with lots of bugs and issues. So combining all of the reports or all of the effort that is provided for the quality, it's really important in the end when we make the final decision. From my perspective, this is something that in my company or working with our clients that we always pointing out and inform our clients that the QA team is the last team that is making the decision going to production or not. Sometimes it's not. They are not too much happy to hear that, but in the end, the quality is the most important part. So they will see the benefit in the end about these decisions.
Completely agree on that. And we have a new question here, not just about quality, but in terms of how to use Xray. So, in your opinion, how should people organize their test plan, test sets, or test run? They're having some difficulties on how they should be using those to manage test case. Any tips you could give here?
Yes, definitely I can give. But on most cases, it depends on the business that we're trying to cover or test. So the best tips and tricks that are usually common for all of them are Xray offers many different organization issue types and also repository where we can organize organize our test cases and test execution as well. So definitely, I will say split them in different types of testing that you are doing, and create a folder structure to everybody to understand that, and will be clear where they can find the latest test cases and the latest executions. And the planning is the most important part to provide great quality. So the planning of your testing activities is the most crucial part. How we will execute depends that on the different teams, the team size, the different types of testing that they want to achieve. Yes, there is many other sub questions that need to be understood at the moment to be able to give specific tips and tricks how they can organize and use all the features and functionalities that Xray offers.
So tying this up to the last question I have here, which is someone is considering training options, but they're placing that versus just using the documentation. So I think this is one good example there. The documentation for Xray is very comprehensive. You have a lot of information there, test cases versus test plans. You have the Xray Academy as well. But then training adds another level of knowledge for really streamlining what's better for those companies. Would you agree there? Would you make any different recommendations?
Yeah, definitely I will agree with you that documentation that Xray have and the Academy, that is, let's say, a new opportunity for all end users to use or learn the tool. It's very beautiful options, but don't forget the part that here we are talking about technical and non-technical people. And for non-technical people, I will definitely say that the training it's a better option. It will save time. It will be focused on direct topics that are needed to create a perfect quality, or make a perfect process for all the team members to have relevant level of knowledge. So definitely I will agree that all options are available, and all of them have some pros and cons about the situation. But if we are talking about in overall for technical and non-technical people, definitely will say that the training will help them for a better training of their employees, or depends if they have a smaller teams for the individuals, but definitely will help them more to understand the Xray and the best practices, which is also a very important part, how to organize and plan your testing activities.
Okay, so I think we don't have any additional questions at the moment, Darko. I would like to take this opportunity again to thank you for joining us for the OmniTesting conference. Your talk and questions or answers now were really helpful. I'll see you later at the roundtable with Sergio and the others. And for the remaining audience, now we're going to have a break for about 45 minutes before the next talk, at least on this stage. But hope to see you there in about 45 minutes. If there are any additional questions, please keep doing them on chat or on the QA tab. Darko's team will be happy to keep answering them. So please enjoy the rest of the OmniTesting conference, and see you in a bit.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.